Welcome back guys. If this is your first time here, this is Yu-Gi Smooth, and I'm really excited to bring this video to you. I'm a huge Lair of Darkness fan. So you'll see videos on my channel of a lot of different archetypes, but Lair of Darkness is my bread and butter. This is the deck that I use the most since being on Master Duel. This is the one that I always try to optimize. So this first duel, we're going up against Kashtira. We're playing in the Duelist Cup. I did about 10 ranked duels. I think I lost one, and then I won the next one after that. But first duel is against Kashtira. They go into, doing Kashtira things. Surprisingly, they go into a Rise Heart now, which I thought they were going to go into their other Xyz monster, but albeit, whatever. Either way, we're going to break this pathetic board, because this is nothing against Lair of Darkness. So I sent Arima to the banished section, obviously, because a Rise Heart banishes everything. Arima allows me to get Lair of Darkness out. Lair of Darkness will allow me to tribute him. I knew he was going to banish one card, so for me it was really just bait, because I was going to send my second Arima so I can get another Lair of Darkness, and then I can tribute him with my Lilith. So I get the Lair of Darkness in my hand, go ahead and set it down. I mean, he can attach all the stuff he wants to attach. That doesn't matter to me at this point, because I know I'm going to just tribute him and make my life much easier. He max Cs, but if you're a Lair of Darkness fan, you understand that you don't have to do a bunch of special summons and you will still be just as effective. Lair of Darkness is all about control. It's not about OTKs. It's not about a ton of combos. It's literally just controlling the game state, and that's why I love it. It reminds me more of, I'm more of a Yu-Gi boomer. I started way back in the day, so I enjoyed it, but I've adopted more of the modern ways. So I'll put down my traps. I will go ahead and hit Metaverse just because I'm trying to bait some interaction, see what he does. If he has an Ash or something, I don't know. But I go ahead and put Lair of Darkness in my hand. That way I have more, resources. I have a skill drain down. I have a Titan Osider, and then I have my tribute crush card that I just used. Deck Devastation Virus, so I can destroy any 1500 or less attack monster. And also, the real benefit for me is I get to see his hand for the next 3 turns. So that's a great card to have. I hit him with Skill Drain, which is incredible in Lair of Darkness. If you're not using this in Lair of Darkness, you're missing out, because for my effect, I literally can still activate it, because it doesn't stop you from activating it, and I activate it at cost. Since I tribute one of my monsters, I can bring my Darkest Diablo out, so that way I have a 3000 beat stick, because I obviously a skill drain, so I can't use it. But like I mentioned, my Lady of Lilith effect is I can still use this effect every single turn, because it's cost. So he goes in and attacks. That doesn't matter to me. You're about to see what's going to happen here next. So I give him a token, because every time you tribute on whoever's turn, they get tokens up to that amount. And this is the fun part. So yeah, he banishes 3 cards in my graveyard. No problem. No problem. This is where it gets really interesting here. Yep, he goes into that. I hit him with Eradicator. I tribute his card, and I get rid of all of his spell cards, which is essentially every card in his hand and the cards on there. So Eradicator is at 1 in Master Duel. It's a fantastic card. You have to have it in the deck when it comes to this. So I go in for attack. I set my my other Lady of Lameth card, which that card allows me to, if it's tributed or destroyed, allows me to get another Lilith. So yeah, my Eradicator still in effect. Destroys it. He hits me with Evenly Matched. No problem. I'll just send stuff away I don't need. Then he scoops, because he understands that, yeah, it's a done deal. So we go into duel 2. It's going to be Branded Despia. In this duel, you see my hand. I have 2 max Cs, Lady of Lameth, and Call by the Grave, and the Titan Osider. Titan Osider is so great, and I may be pronouncing that wrong, forgive me. But Titan Osider is incredible, because with that card, it literally just keeps recycling itself. So if they special summon something from the extra deck, I can make it 0 as far as attack, and then I can also negate their effect. You're going to see that come up quite a bit in this duel. You only need 1 of them in the deck to me, because you can bring it out with your Lady of Lameth. Hits me with the max C, so I can't really do anything with that. Then he activates this effect. This was a misplay on my part. I called by the Grave the card that I thought, because it had Fallen of the Bass in his name. I thought that would stop him from being able to bring out the card in his hand. Obviously that didn't work. I should have waited and maxed actually this one, because once it goes to the graveyard, it keeps coming back every time they get a fusion monster to the graveyard at the end phase. So I should have done it that way, but no matter. we get it done regardless. So I go ahead and hit this card, the Fusion Monster, with the Dinosaur, and make his attack 0 and negate his effects. So if once he attacks, he'll realize that he can't get over it, and he'll end his turn. All right, so we're gonna go into the draw. This is hilarious. I have this card in here, and you guys will see the deck profile afterwards. But I don't even have the Winged Dragon raw. I'm very intentional about every single card. I play it so many times that I try to ensure that if I have cards in my hand that they can be utilized. So I only have that in my hand. I mean, I only have that at 1. I don't even have the Winged Dragon raw in my deck, just because I want something that can tribute a bunch of their monsters. And if it comes back, I mean, it has some benefits, but I can link it off. It doesn't really matter. The real benefit of that is just tributing off their cards. So he goes into his Guardian Karima, and this is what I was telling you guys about Dinosaur. I bring it back, and I can use it next turn. I can't use it the same turn as set because, you know, regular trap rules. But he destroys my Lady of Lameth. I get my Lilith. I have my Metaverse. Metaverse allows me to get another Lair of Darkness on the field, and then I'll have Ice Dragon Prison. So I have a really good setup right now. I could have hit him with it now, as far as a Dinosaur to make his attack 0 and attack them, but I always like to wait to see what he's going to do in his battle phase. Once battle phase comes, that's when I start activating stuff and doing different things. So I hit Metaverse, bring in my Lair of Darkness. I make his attack 0. He already declared attack, so he has to go in now. He's destroyed, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we're controlling the game state. So he tries to hit me with that effect that brings his card back because the Fusion Monster has been sent to the graveyard this turn. I go ahead and Ice Dragon Prison that, bring him up to my side so he doesn't get that and he can't go back into another fusion on his next turn. At least, you know, that was my intention. So get my Lair of Darkness again, going for attack. Like I said, it's a slow grind. I'm not killing him in one turn or anything like that, but I'm controlling this game state. I tribute his monster off because I needed another resource. I wanted to keep it just so he wouldn't have it, but it's all good. I have Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which is incredible. It's a 1-of in this deck as well, but it's essential. It definitely comes into play. You can see his attack. I mean, his life points right now are 4,000. No problem. I like it. I draw. I have Back to the Front, which is an awesome card, a 1-of in the deck as well. I go in, hit him again, so now he's down to 2,000. Perfect. I'm super happy at this point because I'm like, okay, I know he's going to activate something in the graveyard at some point, and I'm going to catch him off guard, or either in the hand at some point. Braided Fusion, that's a 1-of in their deck, so I know he was super excited. He was like, yes, I am about to take over this game. I know that's what he's thinking right now, right? So he brings something else out. I can bring my Dinosaur out once again. That's why I told you it's incredible. I go ahead and tribute off his card. And he imperms me, which I'm always excited when people imperm me because I don't really care about that as much because my attack finally goes up to 2,000 instead of 1,000, and next turn I could just still do the same tribute thing. My big thing with Lady of Lameth was or Lilith, is just to tribute that card. He goes into Mirror Jade things. My one of my best friends uses Branded Despia a lot, so I know how destructive Mirror Jade can be, but in this situation I knew I had control of the game state, so it didn't matter. In turn, just like I suspected, and we take him out. We take him out. Bye-bye. GG. 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 Alright, so we're going to go into the next one. Alright, so this is an Odd Eyes Pendulum type deck. So you see my hand. I have a Eradicator. I have a Lady of Lameth 2,000 defense. I only have 1-of in the deck. I don't know why I kept getting it, but it's cool. And I have a Skill Drain. So I got a Skill Drain. I only have 1-of in the deck as well. Stop the effects. Cool. Let's see what they do next. Goes into battle. Perfect. 200 damage. Take it. Take that. Take that. Alright, so. And at the end, I'm actually going to show you guys key cards, and we're going to go over the deck list too at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. I'll go over everything in more detail, but right now I'm just kind of going over what we're seeing in the game state currently because I want to kind of teach people who are really fans of Lair of Darkness like certain maneuvers and how timing is so important when you're using this deck, not to overuse your resources or overplay your hand. So he goes into stuff. He's able to destroy my monster. He's excited, I'm sure. I'm able to get out another Lilith, like I stated before, because it was destroyed or tributed. Hits me with 1,500, no problem. No problem. It's a long game. It's a long game here. So first thing I do is go to Arima. What I should have done is went into Harpy's Feather Duster first, so that's usually what I will do, just in case they have a call about the grave sitting down, but I didn't do that first, so that was a misplay on my part. Regardless, it would have got Ash, but I'm just saying, just for anyone watching, that's what I would have done differently in that move. So I hit Lord of the Heavenly Prism, and you're probably wondering, I'm going to end my turn without putting down Lady of Lameth, and that's because I don't have anything to protect it, and I want to keep that asset in my hand because I don't want to. So again, I make his attack 0. I take the 3,000. I'm okay with taking the 3,000, but I realize I have Lord of Heavenly Prism still available, and since I flipped it, I'm good to go. So I bring out my Lord of Heavenly Prism. I'm a big fan of the animation. I put Metaverse down because it banishes the card the second turn. So if I would have got Lair of Darkness, that Lair of Darkness should have been banished. So you get Metaverse, I can flip it, bring my Lair of Darkness out now. And now I can put down my Lady of Lameth. Now I can go ahead and tribute their monster off, and they scoop. Control is there. Control is there. Alright, so this is, I believe, the second, yep, Kashtira again. So this is a really good one. This one, they got out the full Kashtira board, like an actual good board, unlike the first duel where they just got our Rise Heart. They got out the, you know, the full play that we're used to, that we've seen 1,000 times over. So you see my hand right now. He's going into different things, different shenanigans. I'm not activating any monster effects. I can anyway, so he can't banish anything from my extra deck at this moment because I didn't activate Ash or Maxi or anything like that. So he's going into his normal plays. Yep, perfect, perfect, as expected. Yep. But you see my hand. I have a Super Poly, I have a triple Tactics talent, Arima, Lady of Lilith, and I also have a I keep saying Lady of Lilith, but y'all know what I mean. Lilith, Lady of Lamech, Arima, and a Super Poly in my hand. So you guys see what I'm kind of working with. In my mind, I'm like, cool, I can get a Lair of Darkness on the field, and then I'll go ahead and hit him with a Super Poly at some point. That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of how I'm thinking it's going to play out. I know if I don't activate any monster effects, you know, I should be good. I see he only has one material, so obviously by me putting anything down, it's going to get banished, which allows him to get another material in his hand. So I think about all these things. I said, okay, let me get straight into, let me just play one card. Let me get straight into talents, and then I'll go ahead and take control of his monster, which I know which will make him have to banish me. Luckily, I know he has a quick effect, so I banish his card. And now, you know, he's I still have 5 resources in my hand while he's doing all these different shenanigans. He gets rid of my Zeus. People really don't know what to get rid of, and you know, when you're playing Lair of Darkness, so it doesn't matter to me about Zeus. So I go into Arima now because I can send it to the graveyard. All right, all of his effects have already been activated, so now I can go ahead and go into Super Poly. I bring out my Starving Venom, send out my Lady of Lameth, hits me with a Super Poly. And I said, oh, I guess he said 2 can play that game. So I have to take that on the chin. So he goes into that, but you never surrender when you have Lair of Darkness. You never know what can happen. So he's into that right now. I'm looking at it. I'm excited. I love this type of stuff. You know, when it's a back and forth, it's fun. So I'm down to 52. As long as you got 1 life point, you're still in the game. So he does that. I get Eradicator, which I have a 1 of in the deck. But it's all about deck construction. You know, how you build the deck, every card needs to be helpful in some form or fashion. So you play it so many times. He goes to Raw's Disciple. I go ahead and, because I knew what he's going to do. He's going to bring out which card and try to OTK me, but that's not going to happen. I destroy all of his spells, pretty much his entire hand. Raw's Disciple. He goes into attack. No problem. No problem. I can take it. I still got life points left. That's all I need. Just give me a turn. 1900. I only have 1 turn. And now he has a token that I gave him courtesy of Lair of Darkness. So, Lord of the Heavenly Prism. Look at that. Look at that deck construction, guys. Can't wait to show you guys this deck profile. I want you guys using this and wrecking havoc. I don't want you to use it against me though. But yeah, obviously Eradicator's still in effect. He thinks he has it. Hit him with the Call by the Grave so I can get my Lord of the Heavenly Prism out. I just get rid of his Raw just because I could have got rid of a Kashtira, but hey. So we go into Lord of Heavenly Prism. I go ahead and set back to the front so I can bring my Lady of Lameth out again. That way I can tribute one of his monsters on my turn and also on his turn. And then I get a skill drain, which I'm like, this is excellent. This is excellent. I was on a roll, man. I was like, let's go. So I get rid of his token because I can't tribute any of his monsters with my Lady of Lameth, which I found out because obviously they only can be tributed for a god card. So I go in and just attack it. I get another token out. What I was going to do was just skill drain and tribute it that way, just in case. But hey, Eradicator's still in effect, and he scoops. Hope you guys are enjoying this gameplay. I really had a lot of fun doing this last night. So we go into Mikanko, which is always a fun deck to play against, especially with Lair of Darkness. So go into my Lair of Darkness. I send out my Arima. I tribute my Arima because I know that with Darkest Diablo, it gets brought out if I tribute any of my dark monsters. So I'm in a good place right now. Got my Darkest Diablo, my skill drain, and my max C. So I feel like I have some sort of defense here. Yep, Interrupted Kaiju, Slumber, perfect. I already know the game plan. The good thing about Darkest Diablo is I can always bring him back. I don't really care if he gets destroyed, discarded, anything, as long as he isn't banished. So he goes into his gameplay. Obviously, he's trying to get his Mikanko out. He's trying to end me in a turn. So, you know, I get it. You got to go into your strategies. So, yep, he's going into his plays. Perfect. He's excited, man. He's excited. He loves this board right now. I hit him with a skill drain. Let's go ahead and shut this down. Let's go ahead and calm some of this down. You're getting a little too excited for me on my end. Yep. All right. Goes in, destroys my card, destroys his card. Alrighty. So I go into Harpy's Feather Duster. Go ahead and take that out. Obviously, I have a Lilith in my hand, so I'm going to tribute his card. I'm skill drained, so I can't use it, but I do have 2,000 attack now, which I love. I have a Grave Diggers in my hand, and then I also have a Super Poly. That's the reason why I left the Imperm in my hand. Obviously, Imperm really doesn't matter right now because I still have skill drain. So he hits me with Pot of Desires. He wants to draw 2 cards by banishing 10. Bold move. Duelist. Bold move. Double-edged sword. Okay. So he's going into his plays. Let's go ahead and shut that down. Take another 2,000 damage. That's a 1-of in this deck. Alright, he's going to send the top card, Hidden Armory. So we're still going, guys. We're still going. He's bringing out... I was surprised he didn't equip it to my my Lilith, but, you know, oh well. So I go ahead and tribute his monster again. Give him a token, you know, for his compliance. I get Lightning Storm, which is a great 1-of in the deck. I usually use it if I get it, you know, turn 1, then I'm able to kind of destroy some stuff. But I mean turn 2. But it's not great, obviously, if you later on in a duel. It just kind of depends on what your hand is. Most of the time, I always have something face up. So yeah. So he goes into it again. Obviously, I still have my Super Poly, so I'm waiting for that. He tributes one of my dark monsters. Since he tributes one of my dark monsters, it allows me to... Oh, and he's really excited here. So I hit him with Super Poly. Get rid of the Darkest Diablo. Go into my Starving Venom. But since he tributed my Lady of Lameth, it allows me to bring Darkest Diablo out. Because anytime one of my dark monsters is tributed, I can bring it out. So that's the reason why I was able to bring it out. So he tributes it again. And I say thank you. Thank you for this 3,300 beat stick that you gave me. He gets 2 tokens for his compliance. My appreciation. I get another Lilith. I go in for attack. I wait to see if he's going to do anything, and then I go ahead and tribute it, go in for the kill. GG. Good game, Duelist. Good game. Alright, so we're going to face Marinus, which I feel like is a pretty good deck. I mean, I haven't used it myself, but playing against it seems like pretty good. In this duel, I actually made a mistake. I should have read the card a little better, but I didn't. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to show you guys where that was here. And we still kind of pull out the win just because Lair of Darkness is a great deck. So he's going into his plays. It's going to take a little bit for him to get everything out, get his spell card out, you know, get his Link monster out, equip 3 other Link monsters to it, you know, all those plays. But while he's doing that, I'll kind of speak on some of the cards that I have in my hand right now. Obviously, I have Lord of the Heavenly Prism, I got Metaverse, and I have Evenly Matched and Arima. So his final board that he gets out basically allows him to negate any effects on the opponent's turn. So had I paid attention to the opponent's turn part, I would have waited to use my spell and traps on his turn as opposed to my own. But instead, I tried to just get rid of some of his negates by throwing out a couple cards like Evenly Matched. So that was something that that was the misplay that happened here. But you guys will see that in a moment. But so yeah, so he has those out. This is his board. He has a lot of resources in his hand still. So, you know, to me, I'm like, it's a pretty decent board. It's pretty decent. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't it. I thought that was it, guys. This is the board. So this is the one that negates stuff, the Link 4. Okay, there we go. He has 4 resources in hand, 2 on the field, plus a field spell. Pretty good. So I hit him with this, see what he does. I go to this to get out my, he ashes it. Okay, no problem. So I can't just tribute it like I initially wanted to do because his card just does spell and traps. Cool. So I go to Evenly Match, which I should have waited. You see it says during your opponent's turn. So had I done it on his turn, I could have got rid of everything and been fine. But it is what it is. So I don't put out on my Lady of Blows because I don't want to just get attacked, and I don't know if he has another Ash, and then I lose that resource and I really need it. So I go this route instead. I bring it out, and then I go ahead and just tribute his monster. His biggest boss monster. And then I go ahead and bring out my Lord of the Heavenly Prism. Alright, so I get back to the front. And he goes into a couple plays. But at this point, I think he kind of realizes it's not too much he can do. I'm gonna put out Lilith, and we're gonna work him. And then he goes in and scoops. He stops at this point. All right. So next duel here. So this is Dinosaurs. This is actually kind of fun, just kind of seeing how they stopped. I thought they bricked that initially, but I guess they were just waiting to put out certain plays. So I hit him with a Lair of Darkness, you know, got my my skill drain down, my imperm down, my Call by the Grave down. I said, you know, this is a pretty decent hand. So he goes into his miscellaneous source and Call by the Grave. I am surprised I pronounced that pretty decently. But Call by the Grave that, because the secondary effects allows it to banish that and some other monsters, other dinosaurs in the graveyard, and allows it to special summon something. So I negate that. I negate this one on the field. I don't hit him with the skill drain yet. He tries to attack me. I go ahead and tribute him. And then I am able to bring out my Titan Osider. And I give him a token for his cooperation. So we're going to tribute his monster again. I'm able to bring out another resource. And I'm going for 1,000 damage. I'm sure he's very afraid at this point because I hit him with 1,000 damage. He doesn't know what to do. All right, so he does the same play again. This time I don't do anything, even though I could have hit him with Ice Dragon's Prison, but I felt like I wanted to wait on it and see like how it's kind of playing out. Because I haven't played this deck a lot, so I don't really know what play I should stop. But I know it's all about timing, so I really thought about it. And I forgot the fact that that card actually allows you to be unaffected, his dinosaurs to be unaffected this turn by anything. So that didn't work out. I should have just took it out of the graveyard initially. That way he couldn't have banished it and even started it. That way I wouldn't have wasted my resource like that. but that was a misplay. So you guys can see that. I got my Eradicator. So he banishes, yep, Ultimate Conductor. And now he's really excited. He's going to go into his effect. And I'm going to have to shut him down. Hit him with Skill Drain. Alright, I'm up to 2,000 now. So now he can only destroy me with his 3,500 beat stick. That's all it is, since it has no effect. Okay, and then he goes into Link's Freebo. Alright, so I have triple Tactics Talent in my hand. So my goal right now is to get him to activate any monster effect. Just activate it so I can activate that. I tribute his card with Eradicator, get rid of any spell cards that he has. He doesn't have any, and I'm allowed to see his hand, which is great. I activate my effect just to do it, see if he's going to send Ash or anything, but he doesn't. He's going to leak Karibo, which I expected, and I'm able to play triple Tactics Thrust. And then I get back to the front so I can get Lady of Lilith out again. Lilith, Lady of Lambent out. Alright, so he has Ash, which I know, so I said, okay, cool. Let's see what he does here. He goes into a Link play with the token that we so graciously gave him. Goes into Sprite. So I can hit him with Titan Osider now, but I'll wait. I send out my Lady of Lambeth. I tribute his monster. So I know now he's going to try to attack that monster, so I go ahead and make his attack 0. And he has no move there, but he keeps playing, which I love. I love when people keep dueling, even though it doesn't look as favorable for them at the moment. So I do this, and this is another part where I kind of misplayed. I shouldn't have went into Link Spider. So that was 2 summons right there, right? And this is my 3rd summon. In my mind, I was like, wow, how many summons did I do? Because I could have killed him this turn, but in my mind, I was like, oh, what if he has, what is it? Neribu, the big rock in his hand, and I do 5 summons and he destroys everything. I don't have any other resources. So I said, nah, let me wait, let me chill out. Let me not overplay my hand. In this instance, I only did 3 summons, so I could have done it, and I've been perfectly fine. But needless to say, he goes into his Ultimate Conductor. He's the strongest again, right? So I go ahead and tribute him out. Then he goes into his Overtext, which is awesome. He destroys that monster, which was smart. I mean, it was a good play. But with DDD, I can actually go into my 3,000 beat stick, which I will do here. And now I have the strongest beat stick on the field. And I am going to end him this turn. And he stays to watch, and I appreciate that, because this is a good duel, it's a good battle. So get rid of that. Got my Charmer out. We're going to get rid of the token that I so graciously gave him, and then we're going to end his duel. I appreciate it. His stage collapses. Alright, so this duel right here was interesting, because they surrendered so quickly that I don't even know what they were using. But I just showcased this. I put this duel here just so you can see the different hands. And I mean, I was just on a streak, so I was winning so many duels. I was like, you know what? Let me just put this out. Let me just show it. So we go into evenly match. His with Crossout Designator. This guy has 60 cards in his deck. I don't know how you build with that, with 60 cards. I guess in some decks it makes sense, but for me, I always try to stick to 40. And I just try to be very intentional with everything that I'm doing and have set strategies. Where if this strategy doesn't work, then I have this strategy, but it all fits within, and every card helps each other. So this is the play. I tribute one of my own monsters. I used Lady of Lambeth special summon. This is the first time I did that. I banished the evenly match so I could bring him out. I tributed him. I was able to get my Lilith. Then I tributed my own monster, and I sent his card, one of his cards in his hand, back to the deck, so that it gave him less resources. Hits me with a Harpy's Feather Duster, no problem. This is for my evenly matched. That is no problem at all. Then he hits me with a Lightning Storm. Again, like I said, I'm never worried about Darkest Diablo, because I'll just bring him back. So I go into a draw, I get Eradicator. Perfect. I tribute my own Lady of Lambeth, my Lilith. because I want some more resources, and I get Darkest Diablo back out of the graveyard again. So we're back again. You have to deal with me again. I know you're tired of seeing me. Going for attack, he's down to 4,000. And then that's it. He scoops. So I have no idea what type of deck he used. So I just put, I don't know. This is a Mikanko deck. It's very interesting. I thought it was a burn deck because I really don't see people who don't have any extra deck at all. But, you know, this is what he had. So I go to Lord of Heavenly Prism. I put down my Lady of Flameth, my 2,000 defense monster. And then he goes into, you know, just random Mikanko things. But he has 60 cards in his deck, so I don't even know if he, you know, if you're watching this, FHFUF, this was interesting plays by you. Interesting deck construction by you. So I put down Metaverse again. You guys saw me do that previously. But this duel actually took me a little bit to win. Which is surprising. But Deck Devastation Virus, I destroy his cards, which was great because it was a Time Lord. So I hit Metaverse. He special summons another Mikanko. Mikanko are very tricky players because it's like you gotta work around all the different equip spells, and you know, you can't attack them directly. You have to get rid of their monsters because then they have all these different things. So they're interesting. But for me, it wasn't as bad because obviously I can just tribute off their monsters. That's why Lair of Darkness is so awesome. So go into triple tactics, get my talent, and then I actually take control of his monster just because I don't have anything that contribute it right now. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take control of it, and we're going to get rid of it. So we go into my Mud Racker. So my plan was actually to get one of my cards from my graveyard because I can discard a card and get a Fiend. But for some reason it didn't work. So we go back. No, actually I decided to keep my Ice Dragon's Prison. That's what it was. It wasn't that it didn't work. So he gets Lala Golem, so I know he has that now. So I know once I have a second monster on the field, he's gonna get me. He goes into target one of his monsters. So I go ahead and bring it to my side so it doesn't work, and then he tributes both of the monsters with Lala Golem, which I said if I knew he has in his hand, then he hits him with 2,500 damage. Then he returns my card to my hand. So with Lala Golem, you take 1,000 damage every standby phase. So I know I am about to take that lovely 1,000 damage. Thank you. I don't mind if I do. So now he goes in and takes control of my card, which obviously I felt like he overplayed his hand right there, but oh well. So we tribute his monster. Go in to get another trap. I get Gravedigger's Trap Hole this time. Basically, I pick 3 cards. He randomly selects one. He doesn't know which one it is, and then I put it on my field. So I have Lala Golem back. I destroy his card in his hand because of Deck Devastation Virus, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite cards to have. That plus Eradicator, obviously. That's why I only have those 2. Alright, I tribute off his monster once again. His monster is banished this time because of his own card effect, which is fine by me. So I try to get Eradicator once again. I get Heavy Storm Duster. No problem. Like I mentioned before, it's all about control Lair of Darkness. So my job is just controlling the game state, not overplaying. So I am going to take another lovely 1,000. So I go ahead and activate this so I can see him go ahead and play out his moves, so I can make my moves instead of him playing it when he'd like to. I destroy it ahead of time. Like I said, with Lair of Darkness, it's all about timing. The timing that you do things is very important. You don't want to overplay, and you don't want to play too soon. So you want to wait until you're breaking a combo when it's unexpected. So he goes into it, and I take that beautiful 1,000 damage again. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. I go into Link Spider. I tribute both of them. Go into Beat Cop. And I get another token on my side of the field. Alright, and then he realizes that, you know what, I'm done. He's controlled the game state enough. I'm not even going to keep trying. So he actually scoops at this point. That's the end of that. Alright, this one is actually a quick one, so we're going to run through this one pretty fast. This is a Cybrese Mathmech deck, and it's always funny because, you know, obviously they go through all their combos, and then after all the combos, you lose one thing and then you just scoop. And I'm like, this is a control deck. I wasn't going to beat you in one turn, and you could have come back. But they scoop. So he goes through all of his different plays. Cool, no problem. I wait until he gets out his XYZ Mathmech monster, and then I imperm that. I could have impermed anything ahead of that, but I think with the XYZ monster, he's able to specifically get one card that he needs during the situation. So for me, I felt like that was the best one to imperm. I could be wrong. Comment below, let me know if you feel like I should have impermed something else throughout this part. But I imperm that. It's ultra rare too, so anytime something is ultra rare, I have more fear of it. So imperm it, then he goes into another Link monster, Transcode Talker, and he ends on Firewall, I believe. Yep. So he ends on that. Then he sends one, has 5,500. Cool, no problem. It's fantastic. Put down my Lair of Darkness. I tribute off his monster. Obviously, we still have other plays, but as soon as this monster is gone, he scoops. That's it. Which I was surprised. Here's a deck profile. Like I said, I've played this so many times. There's other traps you can add. There's other things you can add. You can take out certain things, but for me, I feel like this is like the most optimized version of the deck. And I still play around with certain things. I add certain things to it and take certain things away. But right now, I feel like this just flows so smoothly for me that, you know, I honestly, at first I didn't want to share it. I was like, man, this is such a good build. Like, I don't want everyone knowing exactly the build, like if I'm playing someone or whatever, like one of the followers or one of the subscribers. But I was like, you know what? Let me give them the absolute best build that I've come up with when it comes to Lair of Darkness. Let me just share this. So this is it. This is the Lair of Darkness, the Super Poly. You can also go Ties of the Brethren, which I had, at first I went 3 of, then I went 1 of, then I took it out completely, and right now this is kind of the build. Eradicator, 1 of, I think that's mandatory in the deck. Heavy Storm, I feel like that's mandatory. Like you should have at least 1, especially if you don't have another way to destroy cards. Metaverse, I have 2 of those because Lair of Darkness is literally the most important card in the deck. So 2 evenly matches, 2 imperms, 1 Gravedigger's Trap Hole. I've had 2 at one point. Like I said, I went back and forth. 1 Titan Cider. Like I said, I want to be very intentional with every single card. Ice Dragon's Prison is really great, especially for banishing cards. Skill Drain, you gotta have that. I mean, I feel like that's mandatory too. And then your Super Poly target, so you want to go through those and kind of see which ones you feel like are most effective. These are the ones I feel like that are most effective in this deck. Obviously the Predaplants. And after this, I'll showcase just like the key cards of the deck. So DDD, you have a lot of level 3 fiends. Zeus, I didn't really have to go into Zeus too often, but it is there and it's available. Link Spider, that way you can go into your other Link monster, because one of them, they can't do tokens, it has to be effect monsters. 2 effect monsters like Predaplant, same thing. This one right here is fine either way. That's the one, 2 effect monsters, so Mudwrecker from Underworld. And like I mentioned, these are the key cards, so you gotta have Lilith, you gotta have Arima, you gotta have Darkest Diablos, Lair of Darkness, and then Super Poly, I feel like, is just all mandatory for having any sort of success with Lair of Darkness. Now, there's different builds, there's different ways you can do it, but I feel like this is the most effective Lair of Darkness deck that I've ever built and that I've had the most success with. So I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, and I appreciate it, man. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you.